Amid climate change and freshwater deficit in the world, the Irtysh and Ili-Balkhash basins are affected by negative processes arising from the lack of coordinated actions by neighboring countries. Intergovernmental cooperation between China and Kazakhstan regarding the joint use and protection of the Irtysh River water resources is essential not only for the two countries but also for Russia. One of the causes of the changes in the ecosystem in the Ili-Balkhash and Irtysh basins is the ineffective management of transboundary rivers, different models and approaches in water use on which there is no consensus and relevant agreements. This problem is especially severe in the Republic of Kazakhstan, which is already acutely experiencing shortages of water resources. Kazakhstan has been facing an increasing shortage of water resources in recent decades. About half of the surface waters of Kazakhstan come from territories of neighboring countries. Of the 23 transboundary rivers flowing through the lands of China and Kazakhstan, the most significant are the Irtysh and Ili, whose main watercourse is formed in the territory of the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region of China. One of the reasons for insufficient water supply to Kazakhstan is China's policy of unilaterally increasing the volume of water resources taken from the aforementioned rivers. This situation is in line with China's plans for intensive socio-economic development of Xinjiang. By doing so, China expects to obtain additional time to complete the construction of major hydraulic structures in Xinjiang and to justify to the Kazakh side the large-scale withdrawal of water from transboundary rivers. Chinese water withdrawal projects in the basins of these two rivers are considered the main reason for the reduction in their flow, which has a negative impact on the industry, agriculture and ecology of a significant part of Kazakhstan. At the same time, about 40 water reservoirs and more than 250 water intake facilities have been recently built in the transboundary Ili River basin in China, and more than 500,000 hectares of land are being irrigated. When addressing the issue of rational use of water resources, China insists on priority rights of water withdrawal from transboundary rivers, referring to the so-called equitable bases. The population and production capacity of the Xinjiang border areas are many times higher than the same indicators of the border provinces of the Republic of Kazakhstan. The possibility of water allocation on a parity basis is not being considered by Beijing. The implementation of a large part of the projects proposed under the development of Xinjiang will dramatically worsen the future balance of water use to the detriment of Kazakhstan, and will also reduce the hydrological and hydrochemical parameters of watercourses. As noted by political scientists, the mediation of water relations, along with political and economic cooperation, is of strategic importance for the development of friendly and mutually beneficial relations between China and Kazakhstan. Currently, China is forcing the development of all sectors of the economy. And as part of these objectives, it is implementing the second phase of China's state program called Great Western Development Strategy, which is to be completed by 2030. It will require a further increase in water withdrawals from transboundary rivers. International environmentalists estimate that the increase in water withdrawal is already causing adverse environmental effects, including the following. Water withdrawal from the Black Irtysh River has led to a decrease in water flow into Lake Zaysan and a drop in its level. Reducing the flow of the Irtysh River may also cause climate aridization and lead to a decrease in natural soil moisture, lower crop yields, degradation of pastures, and desertification of much of the northeastern region of Kazakhstan. Given this background, the Kazakhstani authorities are actively addressing the problem of water scarcity by changing the strategic direction of agricultural development, moving from extensive to intensive methods. According to international experts working closely with international donors, Kazakhstan is reforming the management of its water resources, paying special attention to the links between major water users in different sectors of the economy. A new emphasis is being put on improving the efficiency of water use. By 2030, Kazakhstan will reduce the consumption of water coming from abroad by 4.5 billion cubic meters per year. An additional incentive to change Kazakhstan's water policy was the desire to reduce potential tensions with China. Thus, Kazakh authorities are creating all the necessary conditions for successful negotiations on water issues. Kazakhstani officials emphasize that water resources of transboundary rivers are a common property, and Kazakhstan fully understands the neighbors' desire to use their water. Water allocation should proceed without prejudice to the countries downstream of transboundary rivers, i.e. to Kazakhstan as well. Therefore, this country counts on fair negotiations in order to reach an equitable agreement on water allocation. But despite this, China is stalling the negotiation process in order to complete the construction of major hydraulic structures in Xinjiang to ensure large-scale water withdrawal from transboundary rivers. At the current pace, the negotiation of the treaty could take about 10 years. A reasonable and good neighborly use of transboundary water is crucial for the livelihoods of tens of millions of people, for political stability and prosperity in the region, and therefore for the strengthening of friendly relations and trust between China and Kazakhstan. Feel free to write your opinions in the comments. See you soon.